Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today is just a quick video. I wanted to show you how I'm making some Grandma's year-round blessing stockings for my grandchildren. How cute are these? They're totally scrappy, but I thought I could leave them year-round on the mantle. The back is just some old jean material. And the front on Melody's, this is Melody's, I put her name on there. I just stamped it on and sewed that on. Her front is a quilt top that I got from my friend Carol that was already done with hearts, and I just quilted it myself. And then I just put a backing on. But so simple, and I think they're going to love it. So anytime they visit, I'll be sure to have some surprises in here. So this will be fun. Just an idea for you too, if you wanted to try something like that. I put a little strap right here instead of on the side, kind of like that. The edges are completely raw. But yeah, I need to make Aubrey's, so come sew with me. I've just got a stocking template that I cut out. It's about, I'd say 16.5 at the longest point, and about 8 at the widest. I went ahead and cut out the jean material. So that's done. And for the handle for this one, I'm just going to use a piece of the jeans. So we have that done. I have a basket of fabric scraps, and I just cut them into wedges because I thought I would do a wedge quilt-as-you-go pattern, just like that. And there's just some different colored fabrics in here, so I will be picking from that. I have a piece of muslin. One will be the backing for the quilt block, I should say. This I will be attaching the wedges to on the quilt-as-you-go. I do have a piece of batting that is 1 inch smaller, so a 1/2 inch on each side, and I'll show you the reason for that in a little bit. So we're going to assemble everything, and I do have my walking foot in already because I am quilting the batting right onto this, as well as the backing. So I have a piece of muslin, batting, and then another piece of muslin for the backing. And we are going to have to do 2 blocks for our project because this one will not be big enough. So we will need to join the 2 pieces. And like I said, you want about a 1/2 inch on each side. And that is about what I have here. Yes, a 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to start picking out pieces, add them as we go. Some of them I might give a quick press because some of these are kind of wrinkly. And I found this nifty iron at Walmart. And I want to say it was like $29. And I really, really like it. There's no cord. How nifty is that? And you just place it back in the base and it will charge. It gives you about 30 seconds of heat, which if you're doing quilt-as-you-go, that's all you need, right? If you want, go ahead and pin to get started. We're going to need one more piece. And we have to make sure that it's long enough. Let's see if I can find one that's long enough here. Here we go. And then we're just going to put that on top and sew across. This has the wedge with the longer end. This has the wedge with the longer end opposite. I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and sew across on that edge. It's going to be about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. We'll flip this up, and you can use your seam roller, or since I've already got the iron fired up, I'll just go ahead and press that. Grab another piece. Now what I want to do is, that's not quite long enough, but I want to use these pieces. That's the short, this is the long. So what I could do is attach these two, or see if I can find one that is long enough. There we go, this one's long enough. So that's the long, and I'll go ahead and sew that across. And then we need to find another piece. Probably don't want flowers. And it's okay to repeat. I haven't used this yet, but that one's not quite long enough either. But what if we kind of went this way with the wedges, but then these wouldn't be together. So we'll go ahead and repeat, and that's the long, yep, that would be right. So we'll go ahead and add this one in. Flip that one up. And for this piece, I can use something like this, as long as it reaches to the top, which will be close enough because I do have that 1/4 inch gap there, so that will be fine. Let's see, kind of short. I think I will use this one and see if I can come. Then I'll just come on this side and add. What about this one? I should have made these longer. Here's a long one. We'll go ahead and add that one. There's that one. This is the longer end. So we'll go ahead and attach that one. Those are some pretty colors for a boy, right? And we'll go ahead and use this one more time. So I'm not even going to worry about this part here. There's a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch, remember, where the batting goes up to. So this block is complete, and that's how fast it goes. Now we're ready to work on our next one. Again, go ahead and sandwich. We need a backing for the back. We need a piece of batting that's 1 inch smaller, so it'll be a 1/2 inch on each side. And then this piece on top. And I think I am going to mix things up a bit. I'm going to start this right here and see what happens. I'll pin down because I'm just starting, and then I'll take another piece and just go along here. Fold that up. And then we'll take this one and bring that one right there. And we haven't used this one yet. This one is really going to be topsy-turvy, but we like things like that, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. Just stitch and flip. And what could you put in the blessing bags? You could put more than candy or, you know, cookies or anything like that, but just little things. And they could be handmade things, little books, little journals, asking them to write in their favorite things, or, but you get the drift. It could be anything, but it'll be so special because it's from Grandma. I really like this fabric. And do I need to, no, that should be fine. I'm going to leave that. Now I'm going to flip over and continue working. And when I go to do the sides, I'll come back and show you that. All right, here's what we have. And I have these 2 open spots. So I just need to find something to just add on here and flip so that I have enough to cover that. So I think I'm going to go with that. Just like that. And I think that that will be enough for that. And then we need one on this side. And that should be enough on that side. And then I just need one little piece right there. Not sure if that'll be enough. I think that that will do it. Yep, that should be enough. We will flip this over, flip this, and we're going to square up the back. See how that is? We just want to trim off those edges. And we'll have more scraps, right? Now, if I were doing a full quilt, then I would want to go all the way to the corners. But I'm thinking that this will be the top, and I'll show you that in a minute. All right, let's go ahead and trim the back of our other one. This one needs a little trimming. So now we have our 2 blocks, and I have to decide where I want to join them. That'll be based on my template and where I'll have enough room. See where these white spaces were? So it's not even gonna matter because it won't affect our stocking. And that will be such a cute stocking. So to join them, we are going to put right sides together, and this is a lot of fabric, but because we did the batting in a 1/2 inch, we can sew a 1/4 inch, and that'll be less bulk, if that makes sense. I learned about this technique from Pattern Pool TV. I'll leave a link to her channel in the description box below, but so many wonderful techniques and ways that you can quilt as you go. It's called the Easy Cover Strip Method, and you're gonna love it. So what we need to do, like I said, is sew a 1/4 inch. If you want to pin, you can, just so everything doesn't shift. And the batting is not going to shift because we've quilted on it. So that's the greatest thing about this technique. All right, 1/4 inch. And I just want to make sure, yep, that's going to be fine. And there we go. They are together. Then what we're going to do, let me get rid of some of my fabrics here, is we're going to open up our seams and press the best you can. And I know because this is going inside the stocking that it doesn't have to be anything pretty, but I still would like it finished. So we'll go ahead and press. Okay. Next, we're going to put this aside. I've got a 2-inch piece of fabric here, and we're going to do just a simple seam binding. Just cut this to an angle so you can get it in the seam. I have this one, I got it at Hobby Lobby, but I haven't really used it that much, but we're going to give it a shot today. So you just put the fabric inside. This is a 1-inch. You just take a pin and try to get it through there. This is a 1-inch seam binding maker, and you used a 2-inch piece of fabric. And then you just want to get it started, except it's not going like it should. There we go. It should fold onto itself. I have a ton of seam binding, but I don't know where it's at, so, and I think that might work. And we're just going to take our iron with that folded down. That is not the prettiest seam binding I've ever made, but I think we're going to cut it right there. We'll hold on to that and redo that. But I have enough here to show you the technique. This will be just fine. And what you do in the technique is we're going to cover that seam. And because it'll be just like that. And because we used a 1/4 inch, or yeah, we used a 1/4 inch seam allowance, it'll fit right on there, and you can sew down this side and sew down this side. To attach this before I sew it, I am going to use my Aleene's Instafuse Fabric Fusion. I really like this stuff and it really does hold. So I'm just going to go right in the seam. But I found that a little goes a long way. You could also use Elmer's glue. And then I'm going to put this on. Press and iron because the glue is activated by heat. And now I'm just going to sew. And if there's any little bits sticking out, you could clean those up. If you were doing a real quilt, you would want to clean up any jagged edges like that. But we're just going to take this and sew close to each edge. And then once it's sewn, it will look like this. So for those of us who thought we couldn't quilt on our home machine with Quilt-as-you-go, there you go. And on the front, it looks like this, which I think is very pretty. And it does look finished. Now, is this a show quilt? No, absolutely not. But it would do for gifts for friends, right? So our next step, so pretty. The next step, we're going to sew this to the back, wherever you want it. Just make sure that the right side is up on the back. And then do any pinning. Oh, I almost forgot. We have to put our strap on. And I think Melody's was 4 inches. That was 3, yep. So we probably want, how much is that? Probably an 8-inch strap. It's going to be like this, or however you want it, just like that. And we can pin that. It's going to be thick, like that. And then I had one more piece of jean material, and we're just going to cover, we're going to sew and cover that up on the inside. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. I almost forgot, I did switch out so that I could use my jean thread. So now I'm going to sew all the way around and then kind of sew those straps on there as well. Okay, first I need to, and you can measure these if you want, I'm not going to. And then here's what the back looks like with the strap on. And now I can put this piece on to cover up where I sewed the straps. And there is the inside, and here is the outside. And just get rid of those strings. And now we're almost ready to sew these together, but I have to make a little name tag for Aubrey. So I'll do that and be right back. I'm just going to use my little letter stamp that it says Stampin' Up. I got it at a garage sale, but it's pretty nifty because I can just change the letters out so I don't have to do individual letters. I'm not sure if you can still get them. You might be able to find it on eBay, but it's really handy. All right, I've got his name in there. I've got some archival ink. I've got a tea-stained piece of fabric here. Let's see. And here is Aubrey's. And then I'm just going to snip this a little so that I have torn edges. Maybe a little on this side. Take out any strings. And then I just need a backdrop for that. And actually, I think what I'll do is just take a little piece of jean material and sew that on like that. So cute. So that will go on the front. So let me pin this so I know where it will land. So I know that this is kind of the top. So I kind of want it right there. So I need to release this so that I can sew that on. Now we can reattach this, making sure I can see even where that label is on the inside, kind of like that. And I am now ready to sew all the way around, and I'll just leave the top open. I sewed all the way around on the back, and I did use my jean colored thread. And now I am ready to cut around the edge of our quilt blocks. Just like that. And then you've got some scraps here that you can use for other projects. And then you'll just cut this underneath the strap. And there is Aubrey's. How cute is that? I might need to trim a little more. And you could also sew along here if you wanted to. And I think I did on Melody's. How darling. So let me get cleaned up here and I'll show you both of those. So here are Gramma's year-round blessing stockings. Very scrappy, but oh so fun, and the kids won't even care. And here's the back, just made from Bumpa's jeans, old jeans. I keep all of those. And their names are on there. And just fill them with items of love. Like I said, poems. You can tell them how much they mean to you. accomplishments that they've done, just recognition. And of course, their favorite candies or whatever else you can think of. Activities, markers. Yes, these are so adorable. I'll show you a picture of them on the mantle. I think these stockings look so adorable on the mantle, and they're really huge. Grandma will be able to put a lot of stuff in there. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching, and until the next video, God bless.